everyone, we are the Group 7 and today we'll talk about arts and creative literacy. So in this discussion, there are 5 subtopics of arts and creative literacy. First is visual literacy, which will be discussed by yours truly. Second, eye, hand, and brain coordination, which will be discussed by Miss Tricia. Third, verbal and visual creativity, which will be discussed by Miss Norma. And last will be aesthetics, which will be discussed by Miss Sarah. So without further ado, let's now start the discussion. So first, what is arts and creative literacy? So let us define the two terms, arts literacy and creative literacy. So artistic ability includes skills and talent to create works of art such as painting, drawing, sculpting, musical composition, and etc. While creativity ability is the skill and talent to use our imagination to create and solve. Thus, if we combine these two, arts and creative literacy refers to the ability to use one's imagination or to think creatively through various artistic mediums to effectively communicate ideas and emotions. Let us proceed to the first subtopic, which is visual literacy. So what is visual literacy? Visual literacy refers to the ability to successfully interpret, create, and use images. So the term visual literacy dates back to John Davis, the founder of the Institute of Visual Literacy Association. So visual literacy is basically visual reading, but that means more than just the ability to read text or written language. Rather, visual literacy requires the ability to read images such as those in print forms or in media. It is all about the ability to make sense of a whole range of visual information, that is to read visuals, appreciating and being able to analyze both literal and inferred meaning. So visual literacy also refers to effectively using images to communicate meaning. So just as spoken and written language have receptive and expressive elements, so does visual language. Visual literacy and visual thinking can apply to all sorts of visual media, including graphs, graphics, photographs, drawings, illustrations, diagrams, maps, signs, logos, artwork, and animations. So beyond the created works, visual literacy can also include an ability to understand physical language, such as the visual cues, body gestures, and facial expressions. So the ability to see purpose and information within these types of images is a sign of visual information literacy. So for example, if someone nods, then that means yes. If someone waves his or her hands, that means he or she is saying goodbye. Specifically, visual messages routinely appear in the following instances: in news media, art appreciation, logos and signage, and non-verbal cues. So why visuals are commonly used in news media? Okay, so visuals are commonly used in news media because it helps convey information to audience, and images, videos, and infographics are used to help explain news stories and provide context for complex issues. In art appreciation, paintings, drawings, and sculptures are forms of visual communication. Whether you are visiting the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, taking an art history class, or just looking at a crayon drawing from a child, you can unlock an enjoyment of art by thinking about the visual messages it conveys. In logos and signage, icons, whether they are street signs or phone apps, are visual representations of words and concepts. You must be visually literate to comprehend the messages these icons convey. And in nonverbal cues, when you look at another person's face or body language, you call upon your own visual literacy skills to make inferences about the person's intention and emotional state. So visual literacy skills include the ability to first interpret an image. This is the ability to understand the intended meaning of visual images, including the use of color, composition, and symbolism. The ability to break down the various elements of an image and understand how they contribute to the overall message of the image. Second is to use image and visual media effectively. So this is the ability to create and use visual media to communicate a message effectively, including selecting the appropriate medium and format for the intended audience. Third is to use technology. So a visually literate person must be familiar with the tools and technologies used to create, edit, and share visual media. So some of the apps we use in editing images are Canva, PixArt, Photoshop, and so on. Fourth is design and create meaningful images and visual media. So this is the ability to create original visual media that effectively communicates a message, including the use of design principles and the selection of appropriate tools and techniques. And last is interpret emotion. So a visually literate person can interpret emotion and intention from studying facial expressions and body language. In today's world where visual communication has become increasingly prevalent, it is essential to have strong visual literacy skills. Visually literate individuals are able to interpret, analyze, evaluate, and create visual media effectively, which is important in many aspects of life, including education, communication, and career success.